Dash. Oh dear.
Oh, yes. Nobody who did reviews is here.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, we are actually live. Yes.
Welcome. Welcome, one and all, to Kebab Edition.
Kebab edition.
Remove
Oh, dear.
kebab.
It must be removed. So yes, this is what I can't actually remember what round
But
this is.
we will not be removed.
Yes. Was it
Round
36?
36, yes.
Yeah, fucking 36. Wait.
46, maybe? I don't know. I can't enter Roman numerals.
No, it's
Yeah,
36. It's we've got the thread as 36, but I just have a vague memory of something to do with 42, and I'm not sure whether that's to do with the rounds or the bloody hangout. So, well. But yes, welcome one and all to this another round of Seattle Angels. We are supposed to have the guest Zappinator on, but unfortunately he's getting 43 errors joining the call. So we're going to see what we can do about getting him back in. In the meantime, you've got us three lovely people. Yeah. Fantastic.
Hi.
No, this is 46, I just checked.
Oh, it's 46. Fuck.
Yes.
So what have I... What is it? So XL is 30, isn't it?
3x's is 30.
No, 3X's is not 30 because you don't have 3X's. I remember putting up a thread with 3X's in it and then getting called out by Phazon of all people. So I think XL is 30. So we've got the wrong numbers.
Wait.
No. XXX is 30. XL is 40. L is 50.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So,
Guess I'm wrong then. Either way, welcome
Extra
to
large
the stream.
Kebab Edition.
Yes. Oh dear, this is just not going to end, is it? But yeah, so our guest is struggling to connect, and we've actually got nobody online from the last round because Sock is off doing Sock things, probably blowing someone up, and Core is with his family at the moment over Easter.
what a scrub.
What a scrub, top keck. My brother's actually in the other room, so I'm going to laugh at him a bit over this. But no, so... So yeah, we've got no one from the previous round, and our guests can't get here. So let's talk about us. Yeah, I've moved house in the past couple of weeks now. How long ago was I last on the podcast? Was it? I don't know. Whenever it was, I've moved house since then. As you can tell, new landlord doesn't care about me sticking stuff up on a wall. So I've got a poster of Middle Earth, poster of the Captain from Romantically Apocalyptic, and my pony pentagram thing over there. So yes, I'm very happy with that. Dear. I was also without internet for a considerable while. In that time, I managed to read myself Mendacity, which is appropriate because our last guest, I can't remember what his bloody name was, but he was the one who wrote Mendacity. Have either of you read Mendacity at all?
No, actually.
No? Raz?
I've been meaning to, but no.
No, that's basically what I was like last time. I think maybe only two of us had read it by the time
The Spimpic handle is Jomikasukas.
If that's
Yeah,
how you
that
pronounce
guy.
it.
Possibly. So yeah, I actually managed to read that in the few days that I had no internet, or week that
Is
I
that
had no
actually
internet.
a dinosaur? No, it's a
What?
crocodile.
What?
Wait. Jomikasukas. It's.
Oh, I made that comment. It's not a crocodile. It's the bloody. It's either a crocodile or it's the bloody whale that walked on land.
Svenosukian.
I don't fucking know. Something.
Science,
Something
man. Science is just crazy.
Yeah. I did actually read Mendacity, and I quite enjoyed it, honestly. Like, everyone was talking about last time how the mythology that he used was very heavily Celtic inspired. It really is. Like, it's not just like Kelpies, but there are a bunch of other different sort of Celtic inspired creatures that he's incorporated into as well. That all this part of a subgroup of like Fae, like because the Fae are the fairies and changelings are one of them, Kelpies are one of them, and they're all sort of interrelated, and they've all got their own religion thing going on, and it's all very, very well done. He's even got sort of like world-building stuff going on through Discord and Discord's uncle and Celestia and Luna. They're all worked into it together. It's actually really damn good world-building. I am thoroughly impressed. I wish I'd read it earlier, if I'm quite honest. But I must say that the fairy stuff, the way he portrayed the fae, the very Celtic thing, did remind me of one other story that I read before, which he probably, I think he read Pratchett, so he's probably inspired by it. It did remind me of Lords and Ladies, which is a Terry Pratchett book, which I thoroughly love, and I reread a few months ago. And unfortunately, since the last podcast, Pratchett has passed away at the age of 65, as it was announced on his Twitter feed by his family, with a little interaction with death. And there's been loads of fan art of not just Pratchett's creations, but Pratchett himself. Like, the one that springs to mind immediately is Fox in Shadow, who drew...
Best one.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good. It was Pratchett meeting his own creation, his own version of death. So, and the most obvious thing was the sheer number of blogs, one of which was me, dedicated to Pratchett in the wake of the announcement of his death. Like, so many people on Filmfic came forward to have announced that Pratchett was the reason they started writing. You know, like a number of people said that. I think like Book Player and a bunch of other people. Obs said that thinking of Pratchett's work actually makes him afraid to write because he doesn't think he'll be able to live up to that. And various other things like that. It's amazing how much one author has touched so many people, you know? Like,
I've only read 2 of his books, but I remember enjoying them thoroughly.
I am probably one of the world's biggest fucking Pratchett nerd fanboys. Apart from GV just won't stop talking about Reaper Man. Like, every bloody time someone mentions good writing, he always goes back to the last couple of scenes in Reaper Man, which admittedly are fucking fantastic. So
I haven't seen GV around in a while.
He's busy with an awful lot of real life stuff, which is also the same reason why there are only 3 of us here at the moment, because Ferret's dead, but basically everyone else is either working 60 hours a week or they've got exams going and stuff like that. Or
I guess we know who has no life here.
Yeah. It's funny because it's true. Oh dear. But like, which did you say you'd read?
I read Jingo and The Amazing Maurice and his band of educated rodents.
Rodents, yes. What did you think of them? I can't remember which one Jingo was, if I'm quite honest.
It's the one where Captain Vimes goes on like a mission to on a peace delegation between Ankh-Morpork and some other giant empire.
Yes, yes. I remember that one.
I remember it wasn't so much laugh out loud funny as it was thought provoking. The Amazing Maurice was obviously much more geared towards children, but I read that when I was much younger, and I remember really enjoying it. I still have it somewhere in my book closet.
There's a bunch of different Maurice ones. There are two little groups of stories that he wrote for children. One of them is The Amazing Maurice, which there's like 3 or 4 of them of. The other one is the Tiffany Aching things. Do we want to bring Arch into this so he can be an entertaining drunk and also talk about things?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, there's a cinema link. Why not? But yeah, so he's got both. If you liked The Amazing Maurice, you'll probably like a lot of the Discworld stuff, in particular the Tiffany Aching stuff, which is about her being a young witch who's a bit different. But Raz has not read Pratchett, and I want to try and change that, because that's a fucking shame, because Pratchett is, honest to God, I think the best author of all time.
I don't know if I've read any of his books, and if I have, I forgot he wrote them. So
right, fair enough. I actually found out that you wrote a number of stuff that I read as a child and didn't particularly like. They were like Johnny and the Bomber and Only You Can Save Mankind and stuff like that. They were a different style of writing that I wasn't quite fond of. So, but anyway, one of the things, just a little thing about Pratchett, is one of the things that I loved about his work is that not only was it just like a constant universe, he knew how to write sequels properly, in that every book in his series could stand alone on its own, and you just read it as it's on its own, and it's a good book, you know? It's fine, it's well written, it's got interesting characters, they develop, stuff like that. But when you take them as a whole, like, for example, Commander Vimes, Red said he'd read Jingo, which is one of the Vimes books. Every book that Vimes is in, he develops as a character. And he also develops as a character during other people's books, which he doesn't play much of a part in. Even when he's a side character, he's often in the side, developing as a character. You can see his character arc shining through. And they just all sort of interweave beautifully into sort of, oh, you do not have access to this page. Have you made this a private hangout or something?
No, I don't know.
See, that would explain why Zappinator can't bloody join. I have no idea how to change that if you have.
I didn't even know you can make a private hangout.
I have no idea. Google is strange and unknowable. Fuck it. Maybe it's because is he like friends on Google Plus or something?
I can add him as a friend on Google Plus.
Maybe that'll make it work. I'll see. I don't know if Arch actually has a Google page. I'll get. Anyway, the fact all the sequels work as their own individual books, but they interweave and form something absolutely magical when you read them like as a series, which he actually talks about a little in Lords and Ladies, the book that I mentioned earlier, which is it's basically a more poetic version of Sagan's In Order to Create a Pie from Scratch, You Must First Invent the Universe, in that there's not really a definitive start to any story. And depending on where you put your artificial start, you change the story completely. Like, you could change the story, it was The Emperor's New Clothes, where he ends up being naked. You could change that to be the boy who got spanked for laughing at the naked emperor, just by changing their frame of reference, and nothing else has changed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And through that, you've got this fantastic narrative, which just sort of unfolds, and you can, every little bit of it's fine on its own, but when you take it together, it's just mind-blowing. I absolutely love it. Combine that with fantastic characters. Everyone will tell you how amazing Vimes is, or Death. Death in the bloody Ankh-Morpork universe, the Discworld universe, is nothing short of sublimely written. Like, there's an awful lot of stuff like this. Like, his idea of how gods work in that universe is fantastic. Everything he does is either a fantastic idea on its own, or a subtle parody of something in the real world, or both. Like, everything, whenever he parodies stuff, he never parodies it in a mocking, like, in a harsh way. He's never harsh in any of it. It's always a loving parody, you know, even with the most stupid of things. Like, one of the characters in one of the books is called the God of Evolution. They find him on a series of islands. The wizards find him on a series of islands, and what he's doing is he's like, birds are flying around and they're having problems eating the nuts that they want, so he'll swap their beaks out for slightly better nut-cracking beaks and stuff like that, you know, little evolution things. And he keeps on trying to find a way to put tires on an elephant. But the way gods work in the Discworld series is they're like beings that the more people believe in them, the stronger they get. If no one believes in them, they're just like little specks traveling in a desert. They're nothing. But the more people believe in them, the more power they get. So the biggest gods are the ones with the most followers. They live on this big god palace in a big mountain called Corpus something or other. Corpus Celesti or something. And as a god loses power or loses followers, they lose power, they fade to nothing, they disappear until they can come back as something else. With like their own version of like they've got the god Anoia, who is the goddess of things that get stuck in drawers. You know, it's a very minor role, but she likes it. She used to be the goddess of volcanoes, so she's always smoking a cigarette. Because you know, when you get something stuck in a drawer, like a ladle that's caught underneath the hood, oh god, I need to get this out. Like fucking get you stupid. So when you curse, trying to remove the ladle from the bloody cutlery drawer, you're cursing to Anoia, stuff like that. And the god of evolution used to be a regular god, but he didn't like the whole smiting people and getting followers and doing all that sort of jazz. So he just wanted to create things. He tried to create cows that were flammable, so that people could have both food and shelter and a source of warmth and stuff like that all in one handy package. And from there, he just got the idea that he wanted to improve animals and perfect them and make them work wherever they go, and became the god of evolution. The problem is, when he went off to this island full of birds and elephants and whatever, he lost all his followers because he no longer was worshipped by the tribes that he had. But he kept on doing it anyway. Somehow this god believed in his own cause so fervently that despite the fact that nobody believed in him, he carried on doing it, which is a fantastic piece of subtlety, which is you don't need to believe in evolution because evolution is going to carry on regardless, you know? Little things like that you just take a little while to think about, and you just, oh, that's what he's parodying. But, oh god, it's just, I could rant and rave about bloody Discworld forever, if I'm quite honest.
It sounds like you were on the edge of doing that.
Yeah, pretty accurate. I'm also trying to bloody figure out how to get Arch in here, because I have no idea what's going on. We've got questions from the Skype chat. One from Pear. Does anyone have good names for dragons?
What kind of names are you looking for? Are you looking for the rather typical dragon names where it describes them or describes who they are or what they do? Do you just want a mysterious old-sounding name?
You can go the sort of Skyrim way and have like Path and Axe and whatever, where you've got these big fancy names with axes on the end. Or you could just go like with the sort of dragon names we've had in the show, which are like Scales and Spike and various other things like Crackle. Yes, of course. It entirely depends on what sort of world building you've got going on, what you imagine your dragon culture to be, and just based off that. Because in Skyrim, they're the sons of the son of a god. Like they are the son of a god's creations, and they are essentially minor angels in the Skyrim world. So it makes sense that they have names like Parthenax or Alduin being the greater angel. So, or basically Jesus. He's basically Skyrim Jesus is Parthenax. Not Parthenax, Alduin. If you actually read into the lore, it's gets a bit interesting. I've never known Jesus to breathe fire.
He's here to save everyone by killing them.
That is pretty accurate to what he was doing.
The elves also want to kill everyone, but they want to do it the wrong way.
Oh god. Bloody fucking... Oh, apparently Arconic's a friend of mine. Do I need to add him as a friend? He's a friend of mine, but do I need to add him as a friend on the fucking Seattle's Angels account?
Maybe.
Oh. Maybe I do have a notification from him.
Smoge the Doge Dragon is one suggestion from the chat.
Jesse Elliott is there, so can you... Oh, I'm guessing that's the guy we want.
Yeah, that's
okay, feel free to send him an invite.
Swank the Dank Dragon is also acceptable.
Apparently his computer's being fucky, so he's rebooting. But yeah, he can't get in for some reason.
Oh dear.
Should we talk about reviews?
No one in this round was on the last review team.
Well, I don't know. We could summarize them. We could read the synopses. we could just read the synopses and be like, that sounds pretty cool. You can go read that.
Let's add them to the IPs. I don't know. There we go. Do we need to be? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Don't know either.
Oh dear. Why Google? Why Google? Do you insist on pushing Google Plus on everyone? It's
why can't you make it work?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Oh god. Send an invite as Seattle's Angels invite. There we go. Invitation posted. So hopefully Arch will turn up and be with us and also be drunk, because that is the best sort of Arch. apparently Zap is one of our team members. I don't know when that happened.
Yeah, I added him to see if that would get him in. But
see, if we have him on this, if we have his name on this, we should just be able to send him an invite through this. And if it doesn't work through this, it's either his computer or it's Google in general.
probably Google.
Yeah, if we're honest, it probably is. Yeah. Why do you do this to us, Google? Like, I don't understand why they're trying to.
Questions. If you got questions, feel free to.
Yeah, the Peter mentioned having a question.
Right.
Dragon Force. Oh god, I watched a video the other day of the fucking Ginyu Force, their bloody song. Like, from Dragon Ball Z, they were the guys who went to Namek to try and fight Goku. I don't really remember much of Dragon Ball Z the first time I watched it, but I do remember them in the Team 4-Star adaptation, and in that they were hilariously camp. In the original Dragon Ball Z, they are just as camp. Like, they are ridiculous in every possible way. They spend the whole time bloody dancing around with their butts higher than their heads. It's ridiculous. It's also hilarious, you know. Oh, God, yes. Everyone ask us questions. Peter, what was the thing you were going to say? Because you said you had a question for us, and it wasn't to do with trampolines. So, I wonder if Archer's going to be able to join.
I hope so. Get someone in.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Archer saying Reaper Man is Terry Pratchett's best story, which is at 100% true. Death in that is fantastic.
Derpator asks me, Squirrel, could you expand on that rarer armor idea you have, and when can I expect to see it?
I'm not sure what this is about, so I'm going to listen to this.
In a fit of creative madness, I announced that I was going to be writing a fic shipping Shining Armor and Rarity, maybe.
Oh dear.
And well, basically, it's going to be a alternate universe, obvi, and about when Rarity meets Shining Armor. Neither of them have any idea who the other is. It's going to take place in like season 1 time frame. And she meets him whilst commiserating over a bad business deal and she's on a trip to Camelot with Twilight. And basically, she gets to know him, and Twilight, and she doesn't know that he's Twilight's brother. Twilight doesn't know that Rarity's seeing him. All kinds of crazy hijinks are going to happen. It's going to be great. You can expect to see it about the same time frame as all my other stories, which is basically whatever. I got some really good stuff on the first chapter done, so I hope to post it sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. I vaguely remember Raz saying something about having an entire
he's Blue Blood and Rarity and Shining Armor. He likes his white unicorns.
There's going to be a separate story with Blue Blood.
He likes his white unicorns.
Well, obviously, master it, of course.
I thought I didn't even have to say that.
The final solution to Brownie fiction. Yeah, actually true, 100%. It was bloody Ushank. And there's me with my bloody.
So I hope that excites people who actually bother following me, even though I haven't written anything in like 2 months.
Hey, I haven't done anything in like 3 months, so come on.
I think I win this.
No, you're overqualified.
Doesn't mean I don't win.
Just let us have our squabble.
Yes, quite. How many? You mentioned something. I think it was in the Most Dangerous Game Judges chat, Raz, about how many stories you have, like, in various stages of planning.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's like 34. I think it went up to 35 a couple nights ago.
I'm pretty. Maybe I was thinking it. No, it was you in the Most Dangerous Game chat, wasn't it?
It was me and Jaxie.
Yeah.
here had a conversation about all the various stories we had.
Mm-hmm.
Why did one I bring up strike you as being interesting?
No, I was just wondering what your for some reason I remembered the number of stories that you got planned wrong, and it was some large double digits number.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering what your general writing style was then, because
now I'm getting more questions. Now I'm getting more questions about my stories.
Yeah, your general writing style, like less how you put words on paper, how you plan out stories and stuff like that, you know.
What I typically do is if it's long, like I can foresee it usually being over 30,000 words, I'll try to outline it. But otherwise, I just got it stuck on my head, and I put it down on paper until I can't put it down anymore, and then I try to pick it back up at a later date. And it's not really working so well because I've got 34 pieces of evidence to suggest that. But
that's it, 34. Ah, dear.
35 actually, because it went up.
Of course. I actually have a document with a couple of random ideas written down in it, but, you know, the number of words I've written in the past year is roughly equal to the number of stories I published.
54,000?
Well, actually, I remember that. I was about to mention, aside from that one story with 54,000 words, the one that will make Pav cry with shame.
When are you going to publish it?
I'm going to publish it as soon as I reach 300 watches. So, you know, tell people.
So, I'll get Ferret together and we'll host a thing.
Oh, God, it'll be Operation for Recommendation Part 2.
You think he's kidding?
It'll get Judith.
If he gets Ferret in here, it will happen.
I've no doubt. I'm the bloody one who started the other one with Ferret, so yeah, this will go well.
Yeah.
Also, I'll just go ahead and plug myself since Deja brought up the issue.
My little metro.
Well, yes, which I'm probably never going to finish at this rate. But also, I've started a YouTube channel, Jason of Argo. So please go watch my videos. I only have gameplay videos, but I am in the middle of recording Twilight Sky over Cadillac, a reading, which I will be posting, and I'm trying to find music and junk to make it nicer.
Should be interesting.
It'll happen. It's happening.
I only managed to listen to small parts of the previews which you said. What do you do for voices? Like,
right now I'm just trying to nail my regular reading voice.
Narrator's voice.
My narrator's voice. Yes. I don't know if I should try like actual voice acting, obviously, because most of the characters in MLP are female, and me having such a masculine voice.
I'm being so raped right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Triggered. But yeah, like I don't know. I've never been a fan of readings in general. It's something to do with me, I will readily admit. Like, it's when someone doesn't do the or doesn't attempt the voice of the characters, I just find it as kind of unsettling, because you'll have like, we've got Zap, we've got our guest. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Oh God! Now we're gonna find out that his mic doesn't work. Oh, I see your face, so I'm not the only one for once. Can we hear words from the lovely Zap?
Can you hear words?
We can hear words.
We can hear words.
Heard.
Excellent. Oh, my cool little thing disappeared.
Oh, your lower third. Oh dear.
Zap, your face is beautiful.
It is.
Thank you.
Absolutely magnificent.
Your avatar's pretty okay.
Wow. How rude. Oh God. I was mentioning this earlier before the hangout started, but here's something you might like, Zap. As you can see, my walls are adorned with Middle-earth.
You have to move the camera a little.
I will do. We've got Middle-earth and ponies. We've also got a signed copy of The Captain from the artist.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I picked up at BronyCon a couple of years ago, so yeah, jealous.
That's really good.
Wait, the guy who made that was at BronyCon?
Yeah.
Cool.
So was bloody Pixel Kitties, where I picked up those 4 cards from. But yeah, so for those who don't know you as Zapnator, who are you and what do you do and why are you so obsessed with the Captain?
I'm not even obsessed with the captain. It was just the first profile picture I had. It became a thing more based on other people than really me.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'm just a guy who sits down at the keyboard and starts hitting the keys. Getting them in the right order, that's the trick.
You're a greater man than I for that, then. Dude, we haven't actually featured... Oh, and we've got Arch! Everything's working now. Fantastic. He's got XSplit going on. What? Is he trying to stream bloody Elite Dangerous while this is going on? What is he doing?
Oh,
Anyway.
man.
Dude, we were in Elite earlier.
Dangerous.
Pretty fun.
That
That sounds hazardous.
sounds like the elite kind of dangerous.
So there we go.
Sorry about that.
Ah.
Apparently I had to dick around with the URL to actually get it to load. There was some stuff on it and things. And
Shenanigans.
yes.
But anyway,
Hello.
both the people we invited have turned up. Excellent. But yes, as I was saying, Zach, we've actually got a couple of the stories of yours featured in the group, don't we? One of them is about Pinky's uncle, I vaguely remember. Uncle Horsey.
Yeah.
Pinky's cousin Horsey.
Cousin Horsey. Yeah.
Cousin Horsey,
comes
that's
in.
the one. Yes.
Because it was a write-off and there was a deadline and I had no idea what I was doing.
Fair
fun.
enough.
Speaking of write-offs, when's the next one? When's the next Building Alliance one?
Yes.
Oh,
Good question.
the last one. We are discussing it at the moment. We're getting it sorted. Are you doing the job for Sock, seeing as he isn't here? He's off doing army things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You need more.
But yeah, we are discussing it. It has been set back a bit, considering C Squared has disappeared off the face of the Earth again. You know, as usual. So.
C Squared says hi, by the way.
Of course he bloody does.
Hi from the end of the world.
Also known as Steam, the last bastion.
See, Steam for me has been a right arse because I got my account hacked roughly 2 months ago, and it took them a month for them to respond. And hello, Arch, your lovely faces with us. Fantastic. That's the site I haven't seen since the Gay Pride Parade in March in Manchester. The best part of that is it's completely true. But yeah.
Yes. I took him into town for the Gay Pride thing, and we happened to meet some of the pony fans there while we were there, and it's like
complete coincidence. We were there for the Gay Pride Parade, and it turned out Buck had been booked on the same day. Who knew?
What a surprise that was!
But yeah, so Steam bloody got back to me a month ago, and immediately after Steam fixed things, my account got hacked again, so I had to lock it. So that's 2 months I've been without a Steam connection, which is always fun. Dear, why does it take them bloody a month to respond to?
Yeah, we also reviewed another story of yours recently.
It's true.
Yes, it was the
Snowball.
Ponyville Snowball fight.
That was my favorite thing to write ever. That was so much fun to write.
Well, what makes it a fun story to write then? Is it just funny things going on?
It was kind of the product of just not giving a fuck about anything and just writing what I felt like writing something I wanted. I felt like writing really over-the-top, absurd action scenes. Mm-hmm. So I kind of came up with a reason to do that. Came up with an excuse and just kind
that reason is Cutie Mark Crusaders, as always.
It's nice to write a story that nobody has any expectations for. Just something that's fun.
Just unbridled fun.
I've got a question. Raz has 34 fixies currently in various stages of production. How many stories do you have in production, and what is your process for writing them? Both questions.
I have to check this folder.
Oh God, I know that feeling.
Remember
is
to
the
ask
question directed at me?
No. Oh, well, sure, why not?
Everyone, I kind of already went over
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32. 32 things in my idea folder, all of which have at least a couple hundred words kind of tossed happen.
Raz has you slightly beat with 34. There we go.
Yeah, Raz
35.
wins.
I suddenly don't feel so bad anymore, you know?
Do you know what? I don't feel bad at all. How many have you got, Red?
How many do you have?
Well, I only have 14 stories. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of which are unfinished. Well, 6 if you count Severance, but I started that 2 years ago and never...
I thought only one of them was unfinished.
I feel bad again now.
You get out right now.
Dear. How about you, Arch?
He's also got
How many stories am I working on? How many have I got unfinished?
Yeah,
Oh.
how many in various stages of production?
Okay, I won't count all those because I've not actually written it. Oh, so 1, 2. Oh, fuck me.
Sounds like you're not going to be able to be Raz.
4, 5, 6, 7. No, I'm not. No. I don't feel so bad now. I don't feel so bad now.
Thank you, Raz, for this great service you provided, making sure.
Someone's got a shoulder all this way.
Mm-hmm. Now we're going to find out that C Squared actually has like 5 words for 100 different stories. So. We'll find out that C Squared actually has been writing. He's just not written anything more than like 10 words, and he's got thousands of words already. But we actually have a question from the chat. Are there any, for all of you writers, let's include both our regulars, because I don't think we've ever been asked this before, are there any ponies that you haven't written for but want to? And I'm going to extend that slightly to all characters, so Iron Will is included in this. So.
Damn, that's a good question.
Rarity. I really want to write a rarity fic.
I really want more people to write rarity fics.
Well, there you go. See,
there should be a rarity tax on Fimfic. Must write one story about rarity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds about right.
Dear. What would your rarity story be about then, Zap?
I've already got something sort of planned out. It's one of the 32 things. It's
do you not want to spoil it?
A dark adventure thing, kind of similar. Well, okay, not similar at all.
Aha.
Not similar at all to my other long adventure thing, but just similar in the fact that it really only contains the one character. My other fic was just Applejack. This one will just be there for most of it, except for another half, which takes place in Ponyville, which would be it's hard to explain. I haven't fully fleshed it out myself yet.
I don't think any of my...
And it involves a rapier at least once.
Oh, sword fighting.
Excellent.
Yeah. I don't think any of my 35 stories involve rarity.
Raz, we can't be friends anymore.
No, wait. Like, 2 involve rarity, which is not the protagonist or focus of the story.
Okay, I will. In that case, I will move you up from not friends to acquaintances that give me warm fuzzies.
No.
But you're a squirrel. You are a warm fuzzy.
Excellent. And you've got a new shampoo, which is also a warm fuzzy.
Yes.
Exactly. I supply my own warm fuzzies, so be glad when you can give me a surplus.
Excellent. A surplus of warm fuzzies. Fantastic.
We heard you like warm fuzzies. Yo.
Yes. We've got someone in Zap's thread asking who you are, so you should probably add a lower third and also introduce yourself.
Oh, fuck me. How do I do that?
It's the the left-hand side even. It's called Hangout Toolbox, and you can do stuff through there. But probably introducing yourself first would be a better idea.
All right, fine. I'm Arconix. Apparently, I'm famous, so I've no idea what for.
You are?
I don't know anymore. I don't think I ever have been.
You're famous for your drunken shenanigans in both tanks and space, which are hilarious.
And also for writing something that may possibly be an encyclopedia about a weird fan fiction universe, quote unquote, that everyone seems to love to hate or hate to love.
Ah.
Yes.
Right, of course. Yes.
Lower third.
You also met your wife through fan fiction.
Yes, I did.
Through Simpsons fan fiction.
Through the Simpsons fan fiction, yes.
Yeah.
Is this thing showing up? Is it there?
Yeah,
it's there.
That has my name on it. Okay. Yeah, through
yeah.
Simpsons fan fiction. That was a few years ago.
Yes. Well, something I found absolutely hilarious and also strangely cute. She's also Swedish, so you know.
Yes. So there's that too.
Does she use an axe to prepare dinner?
Hey? No, not usually.
Silly.
I take it you guys don't know the stereotype of Swedish women then.
I know the stereotype of Swedish woman. I'm married to one.
You're living with them, yeah. Oh,
She can hear me saying this. I can hear her sharpening the various
various implements. Fantastic. Oh dear.
Yeah, so
But yes.
I wrote that. I
Anyone?
wrote something else. I wrote a bunch of stuff with donkeys. I've wrote a bunch of stories that I had finished.
Mhm.
Also, I like Derpy a lot.
Yes,
There you
this
go.
is true. You've written a lot of Princess Derpy and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any character you haven't written for yet, though, Arch, that you want to?
Did I want to write for? Octavia.
Yeah, fair
Don't know
enough.
why.
Would she be the sort of fandom standard Octavia with cello and whatever going on?
I think so, probably, yeah. But no vinyl. I like this ship, it's very cute, but I don't want to write that because everyone else already has.
Oh god, I just noticed the guy who was asking you who Arch was also said that now he knows your face, Zap, he's going to prepare a special surprise. I'm willing to bet 99% chance he's going to create a fighter in Smash Brothers who looks like you, because he's done that already for the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
That was interesting.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Mhm. Raz and
Okay.
Red, what about you?
I
Raz
know
already said
a lot of my
Rarity.
fics seem to involve princesses.
Mm-hmm.
So but I haven't done any Princess Cadence yet. So I would like to do something with her.
Fair enough. Any idea
I
what,
support that.
what it would be?
Not enough people do Princess Cadence.
I have an idea for her, but she's involved in part of a larger story that I haven't really fleshed out yet.
Mm.
So I would like to write her. I do have an idea for her, but I haven't really gotten to it yet.
Sounds good. What about you, Red?
I want to say...
What?
Dusk Shine.
What?
So no, it's Pear's comment in the public chat. Arch met his hot Swedish wife through fanfiction. Can I grow up to be you, please?
I thought that's what he was going to do.
Yeah, apparently. And I am apparently older obs or something like that. But yeah, go on.
I don't know.
I would like to say that I haven't really written stories about several of the main six. Fluttershy, Applejack, Pinkie Pie. I want to say Rainbow Dash. I've already written about her because I wrote Huggled. I've definitely written about Twilight, and I've definitely written about Rarity. So yeah, I think the rest of the main six and Princess Cadence will probably be the ones I want to explore the most.
Sounds good.
Yeah, to me, I think the main six, for the most part, are kind of boring because you've got them so much already. I like exploring the secondary and background characters more.
That's a fair point. I'm going to just throw this out there because I do have a number of ideas for stories that I may or may not write in the future. But I do want to, yeah, probably not. But I do want to write something with a slightly older Spike, and before anyone asks, no, it is not going to be a fucking shipping story with him and Rarity. But it's okay because they're aged up or whatever.
But does he have wings and is everybody else dead?
Everyone else is always dead. But so I actually do have a couple of ideas for aged up Spike, which I'll probably never write. So you're never going to know.
You should just make that the title of the story. Everyone is always dead.
Yeah, yes, and it's just Spike being mopey in various universes. It won't even be. It'll be like it'll cut between Spike in various universes. Like we Spike in for like Equestria, or we Spike in something else where everyone's dead, like Harmony Theory, everyone's dead and Spike is mopey and making art.
Spike Chronicles.
Yeah, the Spike Chronicles. The Spike Chronicles. Sweet Tooth turns up at one point, but
He's trying to find a universe where not everybody is dead.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and the way you can even go that way. You just take the logical conclusion from other universes. You can put a war going on in one of everyone's dead. Done. Oh dear.
Spike tries to find a universe where he's actually an important character.
I need to go devour dinner, so I'll be back as soon as I can.
Alrighty, see you in a minute. We do have another question.
Cat on my head.
we have two questions. Oh yeah. Which one's that? Is that Bonbon?
That's Bonbon, yes.
That's Bonbon. What's your other cat called?
Treacle.
Treacle.
I'm disappointed that isn't live running yet. I'm somewhat relieved.
We've got one question for Red, which is Red Squirrel walks west happening when, but he's just disappeared. So we'll have to get that later. Do you reckon has Red turned up in Austria? I've not actually read most of it. Like, is there a talking squirrel at any point?
I don't think so.
Ah, that's a shame.
I have to admit,
Depends
I've
on
not
your
read all of it.
interpretation of squirrel.
An abstract interpretation of squirrels. I went to the Tate Modern in the previous, like a couple of days ago. Jesus Christ, I would not be surprised if there was just like a blank sheet of paper called an abstract interpretation of squirrels.
Oh, I'm going to try and get in there with that now.
I saw there was something on Imgo recently, which was someone took an IKEA painting and put it in a modern art museum, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's showing the inner chaos of their mind," but it was just like a series of trumpets. But yeah, I went to Tate Modern with Plumander. Yeah, I went to Tate Modern with Plumander, I think 3 days ago now. We basically spent the entire time laughing. There was one piece of art which was literally, it was a canvas. Yeah, no, it isn't. Or not any more than it was before. It's just someone's turned the light off. It was literally just a canvas that someone had stabbed. That was it. And there was another one which was just 3 blank canvases next to each other. That was it. What?
Art, don't understand.
No, I don't understand the Tate Modern. I should have gone to the Imperial War Museum.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got another question. For everyone, including me, in case he tries to avoid the question by being a handsome Scottish man, if you were to write an adventure story next, what kind of adventure would it be? What would it focus on, / what do you think is the most important part of an adventure fic? I think we should answer the last bit as a group first. Like, what is the most important part of an adventure fic? Like,
adventure.
Yeah. Going out and facing new unexpected challenges. Yeah. Facing new and unexpected challenges is probably the most important part of an adventure fic.
You need strong characters. I don't care how luscious your world building is. If it doesn't have characters, I can't experience that or uphold all the beautiful imagery. Then
True.
It falls flat on its face.
True. Every story does require characters, but so yeah.
World building. Then I guess it's not really so much of an adventure fic anymore, is it? It's more of a
Well, you can have adventure fiction.
An experiential. I mean, if it's just world building, it's not really
right.
an adventure anymore. It's more like an experience or a. I don't know.
To do with Raz's thing, like, it's not just you need strong characters, you need to take them out of their comfort zone and have them experience and come up against new and unexpected challenges that maybe they weren't prepared for. That's a key part of an adventure fic to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just have them go a long distance to some other country and everything's made out of sand and then it just face the same old problems as they've always been facing. That's just a scenery change. That someone's painted the background brown, you know.
You've got to kidnap the daughter and have them go on an adventure to take them back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yes, let's now focus on the former part of the question. Oh god, M1 doesn't know who Zappinator is. Okay, whatever.
M1, come on,
M1, god damn it.
That horse. You know.
Yes, the thing with the horsey. So, What kind of adventure would you guys write, and what would it focus on? Who should we start with? Let's start with Zappinator, because he's our primary guest in this instance. Sorry, Arch.
Fair enough.
No, I'm just here to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I still plan on the rarity thing, dark, kind of single character focus.
Yes, you did mention that.
Mystery adventure with sword fighting, of course.
Mystery adventure with sword fighting.
I think I'd
So it's
like
like a step up. Yeah, I definitely would. It's a step up from Scooby Doo sort of thing.
Several
With
steps.
rarity. Several steps up. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Who do you want to go next?
Well, Crystal Empire of steps.
It took me a second to get that. Yeah. Oh dear. Let's go with Raz next then. We'll go for Alex next.
What?
What? If your next story was an adventure fic, what kind of adventure would it be, and what would it focus on?
One story where I am working on.
One of the 35.
Yes, one of them. The one I'm giving good attention to is a horror story about a no-see who basically has her what I think makes a strong character is when you tear them apart either mentally, emotionally, or physically.
Physically sounds horrible, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, it is, and I'm planning on doing that to her, and I'm basically putting her on a train. That is. Have you ever read the book 1408?
No.
I can't say I have.
I've heard of it. I think.
Yeah, by God, what's his name? I'm terrible with names. But
Begins with
Stephen.
Some explosions.
No.
Everything has scares and explosions.
He wrote Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, okay.
Silence
Yes.
of the Lambs guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Not
It's
Anthony.
basically a haunted train car, and she is going to be tormented, and she's going to try to escape.
Is that an adventure story?
As well.
Right there.
Well, she travels outside the train. She does other things. Yeah, I'd say it's an adventure story.
Maybe. It does. It sounds a bit like Silent Hill, except it's Silent Train.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, fair enough. I love the Silent Hill. Oh, I love some of the Silent Hill games, not the bloody most recent ones. So.
That sounds kind of intriguing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you then, Arch? What sort of adventure story do you plan on writing, or would want to write?
Well, technically, I think I am actually already writing it. I'm just not doing very much of it at the moment.
Yeah, Stephen
Ooh.
King.
Ooh.
Stephen King. I can't believe I forgot that name.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Turn the notch.
Right. Well, see, the thing is, it all depends on how you define adventure, because the thing that I sort of had in mind for this is it's not. I don't think it really fits into the idea that a lot of people have of adventure. It's more of a sort of a very deep exploration of a character as they go through a whole different set of experiences that are entirely outside of what they normally live.
Which kind of fits my definition of adventure.
Yes. They're also donkeys.
Yeah, excellent. Fantastic. Are they one of the donkeys we know? Is it Slowpoke making a return, or?
He will
Dilly
turn up,
dally,
actually, yeah. Yeah, they both turn up in the story.
Ooh!
Ooh.
The Donkleverse. The Donkleverse is forming.
Yeah, something like
Did you say the Donkerverse?
Donkle.
No, not the Donkerverse. Stop raising that subject.
To be fair, I think of the Gold Division writes the Donkerverse.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Arch, that was hilarious. Oh,
Oh, God, I just spit
I'm
whistle.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stay quiet.
You're not sorry, you're not.
Fantastic. Anyway.
That's what I want to write, what I'm already writing.
A Donkleverse exploration of character via different locations story.
And experiences and
Yes.
trauma, in a way.
Oh, you can't have an adventure without trauma.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the best part.
Absolutely. Ah, good lord. I can't. My voice is bloody hoarse now. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, you would get a bloody horse after a trauma in a pony fit.
Yeah. Oh,
There it is.
The ass verse. Oh dear. Oh, good lord.
I think I'm being Pav for the night.
Pretty much. No, you've not got the ponytail, unfortunately. Your hair is on your chin instead of the back of your head.
I can grow it out. Brain.
Just shave your beard off and stick it on the back of your head. That'll be fine.
No, hang on.
Don't give him ideas.
Oh dear.
Ponytail
Oh
now.
dear.
All right.
Cattail.
All right, go on.
Okay, question from Deja the Darude Sandstorm and Knuckles. I don't know if this has been asked before, but red shirts and character death. When you plan to kill a character, how do you make it worth it? So the value of character death, and how do you do anything about that? Well, the first thing is, by definition, red shirts don't have any real value in their death. They're just there to die, you know. So, how would you, does anyone here have a story in which their character dies?
I'm writing one.
Uh-huh.
I basically kill Spike off in the first chapter.
Excellent.
Oh.
Why does that happen?
To make Twilight go on the vendetta against him, to avenge his death.
Ooh.
And she basically kicks ass.
Okay, so it's basically Twilight becomes a superhero sort of thing.
Yeah, so Spike's death is a trigger.
Catalyst. Yeah,
catalyst, whatever.
Yeah, sounds good. How do you? So you're making the death worth it by making Twilight go crazy and start attacking people.
Yes, the death is the start of the story.
Fair enough. I know. I'm guessing Red has characters die in My Little Metro. I haven't actually read it to my great shame. So.
They have lots.
What's his other one? I've forgotten the name of it.
Unfinished.
Oh, Unfinished. Yeah.
Which
what's?
He should rename it to Finished.
Do he ho. Arch, I think I've read pretty much everything of yours that isn't involved with Princess Derpy, and I don't think any of your characters die.
Well, I did kill Twilight in one of them, but in a sense, she was already dead when the story started, so...
Right, okay. Fair enough. But how would you make a character death worth it? How would that work?
You have to invest the reader in them. You have to make the reader actually like them a lot. You know, like, the example I always think of is... in the Serenity, in Firefly, in the Serenity film, a massive spoiler if anyone's not seen it, one of the most beloved characters from the TV series, one of the most beloved characters from the TV series dies about 2/3 of the way through the film, just for no obvious reason. He just gets a giant spear through the front of him, and that's it. He's just dead. And he's a character that reviewers had invested a lot of their emotion into because he was a really nice guy, and then he just sort of dies. I think that's how you would do it. You know, it's like you have to really get the reader invested and get them to care for them. You know, it's like
Whereas that's kind of a counterpoint to Raz's, because Raz's idea, the story is Spike dies fairly early on, and I'm going to be quite honest, Spike. Only one real person in the entire fandom cares that much about Spike.
Oh God, no!
Am I the only person in the fandom that doesn't care enough about Spike to kill him off in the first chapter? Because I really just don't like Spike.
Like, I like Spike.
I can think of two people who will get me for that. One of them will be sorry about it. The other will try to kick my face in.
I'm generally indifferent to Spike. Oh yeah, you're a Derpy Brewer moderator.
Yes, I mentioned that. Am I moderating on Derpy Brewer? Why am I a moderator?
Yeah,
I have to interact with people who are ridiculously obsessed with Spike on a regular basis, and there's a lot of them. So, you know.
So there's a people who value Spike far too much.
Oh yes.
Because
I'm indifferent to Spike, but I'm not like I am ready. I can just kill him off it because I want to. But
I know
there are people who are obsessed with him. Like
like there are some people who I can deal with. Like The Descendant likes to make a big thing out of Spike and Twilight's relationship as brother and sister / mother / son weird goings on thing. And I am perfectly okay with that, because things like Zenith are fantastic stories. The Descendant is a great writer, and he knows how to use the sort of bond that Twilight and Spike have.
Zenith, I'm still
The problem is when you have other users who just go around commenting on stories saying, "Oh, you haven't used Spike in this story." It's like he doesn't exist.
He's not important to the story. That's why he's not in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't just want someone to turn up because they're a character. You want them to matter to the story. If they don't matter to the story, I'm not gonna. You wouldn't stick Princess Luna just turning up in a chapter to remind people that she exists. You know.
Well,
if she's not important to the story,
some writers would, but they're bad.
Yeah, some writers would, but it's not a good thing to do. You couldn't just because if you're doing that, you're just gonna have one base. You can have an entire chapter where just Lyra turns up and reminds people that she exists, and then Bonbon turns up, and then Colgate turns up, and then everyone turns up, and everyone just appears just to remind people that they exist, which just doesn't work.
That's why Fluttershy never exists in any of my stories.
Fantastic, good man.
Actually, that brings up a question that sometimes any other the writers here, which basically excludes Plum. Is there any characters that you really have trouble writing? I mean, is there any that you just can't get your head into?
Spike. That's why I want to kill him.
I'm going to say that the show's creators have trouble writing Fluttershy because her entire conflict arc has happened like 5 times now. Like she has stopped.
You cannot deny that Fluttershy rocks that.
She does.
I think it can be denied.
She's developed some sort of something that's a bit like Munchausen syndrome, where she basically just goes through the same symptoms over and over again in order to gain sympathy.
Fluttershy is a changeling that keeps dying by an overload of love, so they have to keep replacing her.
That explains
So every
everything.
week there's a new Fluttershy. God damn it! Now it's 36 stories.
That explains
It's just
it.
like it's a different changeling. It's a different changeling every time, and they give her the same dossier. You are shy. You are socially awkward. You need to overcome this awkwardness, and in the process, they die.
Yeah.
You changeling, same dossier.
Yeah, okay, thank you guys. This is 36 stories now.
We better prioritize that one
Right
because I want to read it now.
I want to read this. Yeah.
Go on, Zach. You were saying something.
Yeah.
I think you were saying something.
Zach.
No, I said write that right now.
Oh, right, yeah.
But
Oh, well, we agree.
Yeah. Do you have a character that you don't enjoy writing, Zach? Or find particularly hard
To some extent, that would actually kind of be Rarity. That's kind of why I want to write a fic that focuses so solely on her as like a single character. Just to kind of, I can write her so that she sounds like herself, but getting really into her head is something I want to kind of explore more.
Fair enough. So you can have her as
process
a side character, but not as much as a main character, which is what you want to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. And I would ask Red, but he's dead and getting food, so whatever. What was the question? Yeah, bed. See, this is coming from the man who knows the lyrics to the Soviet anthem.
Yes.
Soviet national anthem. Fantastic.
You want me to sing it?
Oh God! At the end, we'll have it as the outro. We didn't hear from Zap what they thought on how to make character deaths worthwhile. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't know.
ask
I've
them
never
to-
actually killed a character in any of my stories. So
Neither has Arch, but how would you?
I mean,
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
I don't know. I think I have done.
I guess it's kind of the same points already raised. You have to make people actually care about them first.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't
You
care.
got to
what
make
you
sure people care about them, and you got to make sure that their death actually means something, that it has a reason behind it, that it's valid,
Do you?
and that people
Question
can,
to the rest of
like,
Go on.
despite how much they cared about them, they can still see that it happened for a reason, sort of thing.
Yes,
Unless you're
that's
just trying to make people.
Yeah, like the thing is with Raz's example is that Spike has to die for reasons. He's a plot device. He's not a character who you care about dying. And Yeah, that's fair enough. Spike's death is the object that's important, not Spike himself.
Well, the thing is, it's weird for me because I have such an indifference towards Spike. I have to try to make it in the first chapter look like Twilight really cares about him, even though we already know she does. So it's kind of weird.
Fair enough. This is his last day before retirement. Is what it says.
Oh, exactly. I'm getting poked from C-Squared over Steam. He's saying that you did kill characters off in the snowball fight, Vic.
Well, I guess technically, yes.
Oh, I remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wonderful thing.
Fair enough. We've got a quick one for Arch. Is Arch the guy who writes Derpy? Yes.
Yes.
Isn't Derpy just written one of two ways? Normally, yeah. Like the two most common ways of writing Derpy are the like scatterbrained, lovable postal delivery person, and the other one is the tragically disabled mother who cares for Dinky a lot.
You know my favorite headcanon of Derpy is?
I didn't go for it.
She is just a regular pony. You have to walk into things on occasion.
That's a weird headcanon.
Mm-hmm.
That's way out there.
What was it? Arch, of course you didn't write Derpy. Is that because she's a princess and she's magical?
Yes, she is. She's the best princess in the world ever.
Mm-hmm.
The Princess of Muffins?
No.
Wasn't there one story?
Muffins are simply a small part of that.
Wasn't there one story which was like there was a competition and the winner of the competition would become princess for a day, and all the main six were tearing into each other trying to win, and eventually Derpy wins out and turns the sun into a muffin.
I don't remember that, but I want to read it now.
I can't remember where I read it.
What is the story?
The story. I can't remember what it's bloody called, but the story was the main six trying to fight over this competition to become the best princess, and eventually they just sort of realize that the competition is over as they look towards the sun and notice that it's not quite the same as normal. Deja also asked, are there any Derpy stories that don't use the usual Derpy Hughes tropes? Well, Arch!
Yes!
There's one.
Well,
I can't...
She's kind of a halfway house between the two sort of things. She's a little bit ditzy, but she's loving and caring. She's a princess, and she's enormous.
Yes, she is a giant icon horse.
Yes.
So. I can't remember what Derpy was like in shipping and handling. I know she was she wasn't entirely scatterbrained. She was well-meaning but a bit clumsy. I don't remember if Dinky was involved in that at all.
Oh, I do have her.
I think she was. I think I remember her on the cover art.
That's because Dinky's adorable. She's just so tiny. You're right, that big.
I've got to admit, I generally try to avoid Derpy stories because I don't particularly enjoy either the Derpy is a tragically disabled mom or the Derpy is a lovable but stupid, clumsy postal worker. I don't particularly enjoy either of those. But one I do remember enjoying quite a lot was Bubbles, which was a story from the early days of the fandom. It was very, very sad in my memory. I don't know if it holds up because I haven't read it in like 2 years. Has anyone else read Bubbles or whatever it's called?
I've heard of that.
It was to do with Derpy as a kid and her mother.
Oh God, yes, I remember that one. Oh my lord.
I don't think I've read this one.
Right, fair enough. Arconix has opened camera. Smile.
No, don't mind me. I'm clicking things. Just ignore it.
Okay, fair enough. I remember that one. I remember enjoying that one. I can't promise it's good because I read it several years ago and my tastes weren't quite as refined back then. And good God, Art, what are you clicking on now?
No, I'm not clicking on that. Go away. Go. Excuse my French. Go away.
Anyone else
Got it.
know of any sort of Derpy stories that don't fall into those two general categories and aren't Arches?
No.
Okay.
I vaguely recall
that's
something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll remember.
Oh yeah. Miguelo brings up the point that there's a there's a large subgenre of clop stories which are about Derpy having a big butt.
Well, there you go.
So
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's not
Yeah.
big, it's firm.
Yeah, lots of jokes about bubble butts and whatnot.
Buns of steel and all that kind of stuff.
There's a
It's
fetish
something.
for everything. Do not be surprised.
I gave up being surprised years ago.
This is the internet. There is nothing new here.
I am often the one being surprising these days, it seems.
Yeah. You write donkeys. This is new and innovative. So,
I write donkeys that aren't communists.
wait, donkeys are communists?
Apparently they are.
What?
All the other donkey stories I have come across, or well, not so much these days because there's been some good ones. They've been basically communists.
Don't
Having
believe
a
the
revolution
European lines.
and all that kind of stuff because they're the oppressed people, therefore they must have a revolution and become singing the red flag and
Don't believe the Republicans' lies.
what?
See, the only other
I'm not a Republican. I'm a royalist.
It's an American politics joke.
I
The
know.
only other donkey story I can remember off the top of my head is Cranky Little Donk, Badass Day.
Yeah,
that's
that's
like
the only
one
one
of
I can talk to.
I'm sure there
That's
are
a
many
recent
others.
memory.
Yes, I remember it mostly because I read it fairly recently, and also because Alex fucked up the title hilariously. So
Yeah, you guys also fucked up my title a lot too, so.
yeah, excellent. Also because he used the coal train as an image in that, which I bloody love the coal train. He's a fantastic character. Reminder for people to keep asking us questions in the public chat if you can. There was a question which I skipped over somewhere. Oh, we've got M1 asking what we think of this idea that he's had, which is about Spike being kidnapped by dragons in order to cure him of the pony brainwashing.
That sounds interesting.
Wasn't that
That
already?
sounds like a film I saw once. Was it a TV series?
TV. Oh dear, it's a game theory.
An episode of the Twilight Zone or something. I don't know.
The Twilight Zone with Spike.
No, not with Spike. Just with a fella being kidnapped to have the brainwashing taken off him.
Oh right, there's a bunch. The Matrix is that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
But what about Spike being kidnapped by dragon in order to deponify him? Does that sound as an entertaining story?
Yes, I will say so.
Those namby-pamby ponies.
Those namby-pamby ponies. Crackle is the drill sergeant in this story.
Ha.
Why are there no more Crackle stories? Why have people stopped caring about Crackle?
Everyone makes him.
Crackle is the best bloody dragon.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Season 5 when?
April the 4th, isn't it? That's been announced. And we've got all
Oh,
this
right.
stuff about equalists.
What is
Oh
April
yes.
Fourth?
Oh, the Tumblr drama about that's going to be epic. I can tell you.
Oh, yes.
There's
I'll
already
be here.
been
Cool.
drama about it, so.
Yep, April the
There's-
4th, 4 o'clock. Cutie Mark
Yeah.
plus part 1.
4
Oh,
o'clock.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's going to be shown
I'll
live.
actually be here for that.
Yeah. I probably will.
I'm going to BabsCon. It's going to be shown live there. Awesome.
Without adverts as well.
Yeah, I'm going to BronyCon, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to any of them because I have no money. Because I spend
Good
it
to
on
know.
hats.
That was interesting. You spent all on hats. Yeah, accurate.
Play Team Fortress 2.
No, it doesn't.
I play Team Fortress 2 in real life.
Yes,
Yes, with the flamethrowers and the laughing.
obviously.
Anyway,
Spend all your money on Elite Dangerous paint schemes.
oh, gosh.
But never the Union Jack one. To your great shame.
I know I missed that. I was so annoyed.
Ah, dear. Okay, Yamgoth has. The dark tag is rather subjective. Everyone seems to be differently on what merits a dark tag and what doesn't. Should an author tag their story depending on if they believe the audience will think it's dark, or should the author stick with not tagging it dark if they don't feel it's needed? Well, the author shouldn't tag it dark if they don't think it's needed.
That's what I would
Yeah.
say.
That's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, author discretion.
Yeah, like what would you, like the FimFic FAQ is currently being updated, but I believe the definition they had, or possibly have, I think the page is actually unavailable at the moment. The definition they had was explicitness. That's when it's... Oh no, that's gore, isn't it? Oh shit. I don't know what... They didn't have a definition for
that's a
dark.
fucking useless definition. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. Absolutely. I do it all the time.
God damn it, good.
Well, don't forget.
Oh, fuck
if you're
yeah,
swearing, you have to put a trigger warning in the description saying they're swearing. That's why it was rated teen.
Get triggered. I'm triggering so many people right now, the fucking bastards.
You're triggering by
So
being
triggered.
you.
Yeah. So there's no FAQ definition of dark. So what do you guys define as dark as the tag? Like, is it like what is it dark themes, and what is a dark theme?
Ask Zap. Zap and Nathan.
Yeah. Let's go for Zap then. Let's put you in the spot. Come on, Zap.
Well, I
Chop,
mean,
chop.
it's kind of author discretion, you know. Like everyone's gonna.
It's all
Everyone's gonna have a different
subjective.
level. But if you're killing, yeah, it's subjective. But if you're killing shit all over the place, it's probably dark. I'd say. But then I don't know. You can be dark without violence.
Yeah, you absolutely
Just
can.
mood. It's kind of just the overall mood of the story. You have to know where it's going. That's one thing that bothers me is when people. Oh, I mean, hopefully no one here has done this. And if you have, I'm sorry. But it bothers me when people are adding a dark tag to their story as it's going. Like they can halfway through
I've had people drop romance tags on the stories, and it's
That I can be okay with.
that's even worse.
Dropping a romance tag, I'm okay with, because so long as it's a subplot, of course.
but like the story's going along just smoothly on its own, a little fun slice of life, whatever, and suddenly the romance tag appears, and they've got
adding the romance tag. Okay,
that's
yeah,
not what I signed up
I'm
for.
not okay with that.
Not cool.
Yeah, that is not cool at all. Like, when you set out a story, you should have a rough idea of where it's going. You know, if you think that your story is going to stray into the dark zone or the romance zone or whatever, by FimFit's rules, you have to tag it as that from the very start, so you don't just drop romance on people who don't want romance or don't
fun
want
fact:
dark.
the one story I was thinking of, it later dropped the romance tag it added,
So he got rid of it again.
and it still keeps it still has romance going on in it. So
Okay.
I'm proud to say that I managed to convince Gravity's Rainbow to abandon the romance subplot of that story, because it just wasn't relevant.
you are a saint.
Thank you. But no, like, what do you guys define as needing a dark tag? Like, we've said it's subjective and it's author opinion, but that doesn't really answer anything. You know, what do you as a person think is the line, or is there no line? Is it all very blurry and vague?
Kind of a tough one.
I'm trying to put it into words.
Yeah.
I can think of if your story is grisly, or horrifying, you know, these generally, if it can frighten somebody or make them feel uneasy, it probably requires a dark tag.
See, I would say that would require a different tag altogether. There needs to be a horror tag.
Well,
Yes.
Hey, Nighty.
And the science fiction tag.
Revamp the tagging system.
Nighty, yeah, sci-fi tag and horror tag.
Yeah,
yes.
horror tag, sci-fi tag. Just give us
Mystery
the good
tag.
tags. So we don't have to
Real genres. Yeah. Anyway,
This fucking random tag.
Game of Thrones
So,
tag.
the Game of Thrones. No, if we're doing that, we're gonna have to have a Halo tag, aren't we? Master Chief tag.
Oh, for
Raz could use that tag
Yeah, I'll burn it to the ground.
and apply it to one of your stories.
Yeah. No, it reminds me, it brings me of shame, so I can tell myself never again.
I do like the other day you mentioned MIA to me as being...
Yes, it's the only competently written Halo story.
Yeah. Says the author of a Halo story. I find
Yes,
that
and I can vouch for that.
Anyway, so like adding, so obviously when they had a horror tag, they should add a horror tag instead. But you say if it's sort of like Silent Hill psychological drama, where did he or did he not do this horrible thing, should deserve a dark tag. So actually that's fair. Like, dark themes is a very sort of vague descriptor, but if your story has anything to do with murder or anything like that, definitely a dark tag, possibly a gore tag, depending on how visceral you are with the description. Like, what do you think is dark? Really, it's the best way we can describe it.
Well, this, from my perspective, you see, the two stories I've labelled as dark, a lot of people complained about the dark tag being on them.
Mm-hmm. One of them was the Dilly Dally story, wasn't it? With
was it?
Wasn't
No.
it? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something wrong.
No. The two stories I'd labelled as dark. One is Succession. Who doesn't know Succession? Everybody. It kind of had a very dark background to it, or a very dark implied background to it, but the actual story itself wasn't that dark. I stuck it on there just because it kind of, a lot of stuff was, you could infer very easily that a lot of really nasty stuff had happened in the past of it. The other one is labelled as dark and comedy, because it's a dark comedy. It's like sort of a bit, a bit like League of Gentlemen or whatever it's called, and that sort of thing.
Oh God, the League of Gentlemen.
That was a dark comedy.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, it was. Yeah, I completely forgotten about that. Are you local?
Want me stuff?
Oh Christ Almighty! You've also got No Room for Regret.
That's the one.
Yes.
Dark comedy.
I wrote.
It's not actually that dark, but it's dark enough.
I wrote a dark fic that's not, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but it has Princess Cadence who gets corrupted. It's a Star Wars crossover. Princess Cadence gets corrupted by King Sombra, and she's told to seek out Twilight Sparkle.
Ooh.
So I have Princess Cadence as a Sith Lord.
Ooh. What's this one called?
Feld.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's on my profile.
We'll find it. So it's dark subtext. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it has a dark. It's a Star Wars crossover, so I kind of felt obliged.
It has the dark side. So.
Dark, yes. Thank you, Zap.
Oh,
she's on the dark side. That's why it's dark. If she was on the good side, it would probably be dragged as a comedy. Because that's how this tag system thing works.
Christ Almighty!
There'd be lots of noises. Wait. Oh, very wrong.
What's up, Arch?
I was just trying to search for something. It went wrong.
Fair enough. We do have a question from Derpater, which is, which background pony is your favourite in terms of general colour scheme and design and appearance?
Amethyst Star.
Oh wow, I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, what a shock!
She's a pretty pink pony.
We're gonna.
Sparkler.
I think I can answer for Alex. I think I can answer for Alex pretty safely and say Trixie for him.
Yeah, Trixie is a pretty great background color pony.
I like Lyra for her hair. Her hair's pretty cool. So, what about you, Zap or Arch?
I like Vinyl Scratch kinda, to be honest.
Fair enough. And you, Arch?
I have trouble choosing.
Ooh.
Because they're all off.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, let's see. I like Derpy.
Mm-hmm.
Derpy.
This is purely on aesthetic qualities. This is
Very
for their
derpy.
appearance. Okay.
I like Twilight because she's purple, and I like Lyra because I don't know. She's got that. Grin.
I like the hair.
I like that big grin she has when she's jumping up and down like a maniac.
Yeah, also true. Also, because it's back. Cadence, I like the fact that she has like a color gradient going on, like her wingtips are purple and the rest of her isn't, sort of thing. There's a couple of things I like about Cadence.
She's a pretty pink princess pony.
She is a pretty pink princess pony, and she is pretty, so I like her aesthetically.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to say that.
What else is there?
More Derpy.
Applejack? No, wait, no.
Oh ho ho ho.
More Derpy.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Is that one of the Wheel of Fine vinyl things?
Yes.
Versus a Wheel of
what's it,
Fine
the
and Derpy one.
Yes, it is.
I got a Celestia plushie that I feel like showing off.
Oh, sure
Show
enough.
it off then. 1 second.
Yeah, I got this off eBay, and it was like the last one ever. I really do like Derpy. She's cute. Hey, shoulder
Zach,
pony.
where's your pony Merc?
I don't have nothing. I have nothing.
Yeah,
Right, I didn't.
You are
let's
very-
see, let's see.
Nothing suddenly.
Celestia plushie.
you're a very,
This is where-
very sensible man.
Oh,
Oh, it's a little beanie thing, and it's adorable.
it's a beanie bag plushie. Oh dear.
Totally worth $100.
I'd say, yeah.
I've got my little Twilight on my shoulder.
Well, yes, yes. Anyone who manages to avoid buying merchandise is a very, very sensible person.
Accurate. 100% accurate. And also your cats are meowing at you.
Yeah, it's
Um,
on again. She's just.
I just have nowhere to store it right now.
No? Oh, wow.
I thought you just wait, did you just say you have Neosporin?
I have nowhere to store it right now.
Oh,
Right, okay, that's different.
I could get Neosporin. I mean,
I'm
if
like,
I
that's
needed to.
Look, there's another one up on the shelf.
Oh, is there?
Oh,
Oh, there is. Good lord.
She's
There's
everywhere.
yes, you cannot escape her.
Nope.
Ah, good lord. In lieu of question, Rainbow Bob says, I kind of want to get drunk. Oh, hey, I have beer. Guess I got my life figured out.
Good job, Rainbow Bob. Good
Yeah,
job. Good job.
He's got it figured out. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got it figured
At
out.
least he's not drinking scotch. I am jealous of both Archer's life, where he met a hot lady through bloody Simpsons fan fiction and married her, and Bob's life, because his life is ridiculous. It's hilarious.
Oh, good grief, yes. The alligators.
Oh,
yes. The Everglades.
Bob
Those
is
beaches.
basically, he's fucking Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2, with his bloody friend Keith, who makes fireworks out of gasoline and runs himself over with a lawnmower. He has all those stories, like the time he was an alligator, no, he's an
An
alligator,
alligator farmer.
Yeah, that was it. That was one of them.
Cleaning
Yeah.
them.
There was also
yeah.
a time he woke up naked in the Florida Everglades.
Yeah, and there's like the time that he got into a bar fight like a day before he proposed to his wife, and he got hit with a hammer in the hand, and it broke his hand, and he proposed to his wife with a broken hand because of this funny bar fight. Like,
Bob.
he is Ellis.
I
He's
love Bob.
fantastic. I love Bob. He's
The
fantastic.
closest I have to anything like that is when I accidentally cut my hand the day before I was flying out to get married.
Ooh.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's pretty much it.
I frequently
the same
bang my
scale.
elbow on a windowsill, and it hurts.
I once stubbed my toe.
Oh! Well, my favourite thing would be my brother, who was running around the room.
Frowned at
He
me
was
like
like,
that.
yeah. My brother was like 7 years old, and he was running around the room in circles, and he wanted to be Fred Flintstone, so he was screaming yabba dabba do a lot. He ran, and because he was like 7, he ran into one of those bloody fireplace things at head height, and went yabba dabba
Oh, God.
and still has a spot on his head where he doesn't grow hair.
Oh, no.
Oh dear, that's hilarious.
Yeah, there's nothing like that in my family.
This is like that time that I fell asleep in it. Like, we just moved into the house that I moved into, like, I think it was like, I don't know how many years ago, and I was sleeping on, like, you know when you go camping and you have those, like, they're not really beds, but like bed stand things which you put your sleeping bag on and you sleep on them.
I know the one.
I was sleeping on one of them in my bedroom because we hadn't had time to sort the beds out and everything. And in the middle of the night, because I had a nightmare, I shot up, whacked my head against one of them again, cracked my head open, and I had to go to the hospital at 1 o'clock in the morning. So, with a broken skull because I had a nightmare.
When I was 2, I broke myself and broke my 2 front teeth off. So.
Oh, God. A friend of mine got hit in the face with a hockey ball. Like, whoosh, lost 2 teeth.
If anything, this is proven it's that kid, you're retarded.
Yeah, and also don't do sports because you lose teeth. Ugh.
Oh, God. Actually, no, this just remind me of something that happened to my brother when we were kind of little. It was in the middle of winter. My dad had been doing some, I don't know, building a bit of an extension on the back of the house or something, and there was this pile of gravel, right? And it had frozen, and he'd been digging it out to make his concrete, and so basically his pile of gravel was hollow in the middle.
Right.
It was just one day when we were just out the back there, and we were just sort of climbing up and down over the top of it, and Dad comes out and he's like, "Look at this!" Starts stamping his foot on it. He's like, "Jump up and down on this. We're going to get it to collapse or something."
Oh God!
He started jumping up and down on it. He's like, and then you know what? It does actually collapse. And my brother sort of falls down into it and whacks his arms on the side. What? Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Oh God!
I can chop it off. Whacked his arms on the side and busted one of his arms.
Yeah, lovely.
Very nasty. So yeah, that's the only thing that's ever happened.
Oh God, I've almost died like twice cycling. And none of it was due to cars. It was just due to me going down stupid streets. There's a place in York called Car Lane. It's a cobbled street. It's a cobbled back alley, and it's at one point it's like a 70-degree angle. And I went down that in the rain and almost died. The paramedics came and said if I hadn't had my helmet on, I would be dead. That's the sort of thing that happens in that street. So, kids are stupid, including me. Good Lord. Anyway, we should probably be wrapping this up soon as we are approaching the 90-minute mark. Yeah, unfortunate. We should go play some Elite or something. Actually, it's nearly 3 o'clock in the morning, so maybe not. Question. We'll just have one last question before we go. Is it really such a good idea to write fictionalized versions of things happening to you in real life? No! Don't! Because chances are your life is boring. Sorry. But 99% of everyone's lives are pretty boring. So inserting your own life into a story, while you may get extra points for believability in that you've lived through it yourself, probably isn't going to be interesting to anyone.
I say yes, because you have to insert yourself into a story for people to know who you are.
Everything I've ever written has been purely autobiographical.
Yeah, that's the most important part of the story, introducing who you are as an author. Who cares about characters? You're the only character worth introducing. Anyway, I think that's got to be the bloody end of this.
This would be the perfect time for Red to come back.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
What does